Hi, my name is Sydney Leese, and this is my final head-to-toe checkoff.
I'm Paige and I get consent.
Okay, so we're going to start off by washing our hands, introducing ourselves, identifying the patient with two identifiers like name, date of birth, and wristband. Then we're going to provide privacy and explain the procedure. Next, I'm going to look at her overall appearance. She seems pretty relaxed, comfortable in the situation, good hygiene, good posture. Also, she looks pretty healthy, well nourished, so overall a good appearance. And then next we're gonna look at her facial. She looks comfortable, good eye contact, and then she seems to be mood appropriate for the situation. So next I'm gonna do LOC, so we're going to ask her a few questions. Do you know where you are right now?
Home.
Do you know why you're here?
Exam.
What's the date?
November 20th.
And what's your name?
Paige.
Okay, so she is alert and oriented ×4. Next we're gonna look at her speech. From what she's just said, I would say that her speech is well articulated and clear. And then I'm going to ask her about pain. So how's your pain on a scale of 1 to 10?
0 pain.
Okay. So next we are going to look at her pulse. I am going to do her radial pulse real fast. So I will just do this. Okay, so it seems to be a regular pulse, so I'm going to count for 30 seconds and then multiply it by 2. Okay, so I got 41, so multiplied by 2, it would be 82, which is in the parameters of 60 to 100. I would say that it is 2+, elastic, and regular. Next, we are going to look at her respiratory rate. I'm going to watch her breathe. Okay, so she had 4 breaths in 15 seconds, so 4 times 4 is going to be 16. And so 16 is in the parameters of 12 to 20, and then she had about a 1 to 2 inch depth, and it would be regular. Next, we're going to look at blood pressure. So I will grab my blood pressure cuff. And we are just going to take your blood pressure real fast. Okay. Do you have a preference which arm?
Nope.
Okay. We are going to hang on. Okay. Just making sure it can see. Okay. So we're going to put your artery right where it says. And then we're going to pump it up. What's your normal blood pressure?
No clue.
Okay. I'll have you hold that for me. Thank you. Okay, so I'll take this off of me. Her blood pressure was 116/74. So that's in the normal parameters of 120 to 90 for systolic and systolic, and then 80 to 60 for diastolic. So she does have normal blood pressure. Some contraindications of blood pressure could be an IV, a fistula, or a mastectomy. So we're gonna move on to her head. Her head seems to be midline. Her nose is midline as well. It's an oval shape, tan color, evenly distributed. Eyes are evenly spaced apart, and then I'm going to have you smile. Okay, and then frown. And when she did both of those facial expressions, both sides of her face were symmetrical. So next we are going to look at the eyes. So I'm going to just measure the size of your pupils. So just look. Okay, that side was about a 4. And that side was also about a 4. So they're both round in Perla. They're equal sizes. And then we are going to look at light. So I'm just going to shine the light in your eyes. And I'm just going to look at you can just look straight ahead, like over my shoulder. Okay, and now I'm going to do this side. Okay, so they constricted both equally in direct light, and then we're gonna do indirect light. So I'm gonna cover part of her face. You can just look over my shoulder again. Okay. Okay, and the same with indirect light. They constricted to the light accommodation. So next I'm going to just follow the tip of the top of the pen light, and if your eyes go cross-eyed, that's okay, that's what's supposed to happen. Okay, so eyes converged and constricted when the pen was brought closer. Okay, so after that we are going to look at arms. I will just take a look at your arms. Okay, so they seem symmetrical. Skin is a tan color with a red undertone. I'm trying to let them see. I don't see any lesions. There are a few freckles, which are primary lesions. They're about the size of a pen point, round, flat, nothing wrong with them, nothing out of the ordinary. Okay, and then I'm going to palpate them. Just let me know if there's any pain or tenderness. Is there any pain or tenderness in that? Okay. Now do this side. Any pain or tenderness?
Nope.
Okay, so it looks like there is no swelling or edema within the arms either. And then I'm gonna get temperature. And then her temperature is pretty equal throughout the arms, pretty warm, nothing too hot, nothing too cold. So next we're going to look at your chest. So I'm gonna have you take your shirt off, if you could. Okay, so first we're gonna look at, remove your hair if that's okay. Yep. We're gonna look at her spine. It does look midline. And then we're gonna look at her scapula. They're flat, non-protruding, so it seems pretty normal. Next, I'm going to listen to your chest sounds. So I'm gonna listen to your breathing on the anterior side. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have you breathe in through your nose and then out through your mouth. Okay, for the anterior side, it was pretty equal throughout, bilaterally equal. No coughing or wheezing or anything like that. So now I'm going to do the posterior. Same thing.
Yep.
Oh, I'll have you move and face towards that way. Sorry.
Mhm.
Okay, and the same thing, they were equally bilateral, no wheezing, no coughing, no anything that raises awareness or anything like that. So next we're going to go into heart sounds. So the first heart sound is going to be aortic. So aortic is in the second intercostal space. It's at the base of the heart. It's S2, and it is the right sternal border. So we're going to listen to that real fast. Okay, next is pulmonic. It is also in the second intercostal space. It is left sternal border, and it is also at the base of the heart, which is S2. Okay, third is Erb's point. That's where you can hear murmurs. It is in the third intercostal space, and it is also on the left sternal border. Okay, fourth is tricuspid. Tricuspid is in the fourth intercostal space. It is at the apex, which is S1, fourth intercostal space, and left sternal border. And the last one is mitral. It is in the fifth intercostal space. It is mid-clavicular, but it is still on the left side. And it is also at the apex of the heart and S1. Okay, so listening to the heart, it was a regular strong rhythm. There was no murmurs, no extra heart sounds, no anything that we needed to be worried about or anything like that. So next we're going to have you lay down. Put your head over there, please. Okay, so first I'm going to look at it. All four quadrants are symmetrical. It's a pretty even skin color throughout. No lesions or anything like that, except for a secondary lesion on the belly button, a piercing. And the umbilical is midline. Anything else? I don't think so. So now I am going to auscultate, listen for bowel sounds. I'll start in the right lower quadrant, and if there's any pain, I should end in that quadrant. But I will just listen for 2 bowel sounds in each quadrant. She had about 8 vowel sounds, which is pretty normal. It's in the parameters that we want to hear. So next I'm going to palpate them. Just let me know if you have any tenderness or anything like that. Any pain or tenderness?
Nope.
Okay. So next we are going to look at the legs. I'm going to look, they seem the same color. It's a tan color all throughout. There's no lesions or anything like that. They look symmetrical. No lesions. She does have a vascular lesion close to her ankle. It's about the size of a quarter, but nothing rare about it. It's pretty decent size. No like raised bumps or anything like that. So now I'm going to palpate. Let me know if there's any tenderness. Is there any tenderness? Okay, and then I'm going to get a temperature. Okay, the temperature is pretty well distributed, no warm areas or anything like that. A general warm temperature, not too cold, not too hot. It is a little colder when you get down to the feet, but that's normal. And then there looks to be no edema or swelling. Next, we're going to look, the legs are freshly shaved, but the hair follicles, I can still see them, and they're evenly distributed. And then do you have any numbness or tingling in your legs?
No.
Okay, so next I'm going to have you, I might move it again, since we're only doing your legs now. Okay, so I'm going to have you flex your feet, and then the other way, forward, sorry. Okay, so it is symmetrical when she flexes, and I can't think of the word, but it is symmetrical. Then we are going to inspect. So I'm going to look between her toes. There is no skin breakdown or edema that I can see. Yes. So now we are going to look at the 2 pulses on her feet. So we're going to do the inner one first. It's regular, elastic, and it's about a 2+. It's pretty weak, but not, I can still find it. And we're going to do the one on the top of her foot. I would give that a 1+. It's elastic and regular as well. So after that, we are going to look for things like IVs, oxygen, Foley's, things to check on and stuff like that. And then I will place my patient in a comfortable position, document my findings, bed in lowest position, items in call light and reach, and side rails up 2 times.